can I have cartels? Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi-Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi-Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Naranjana Yashodanandana Braja Naranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi-Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi-Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Naranjana Yashodanandana Braja Naranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Jayam Vishnupad Param Sapraprajakacara Stotra Shata Shri Srimad Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupāda ki jai. Jayam Vishnupad Param Sapraprajakacara Stotra Shata Shri Srimad Śrīla Bhaktisidhānta Sarasvatī Swami Maharaj Prabhupāda ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Nama Ācārya Shahardas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय. जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद रत कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. O glorious assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. O glorious assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. O glorious assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. O glorious to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. O glorious to Śrīla Prabhupāda. Namah Viṣṇu Padaya Krishna Prishta Putari Śrīmati Radhanath Swamini Namine. Namah Viṣṇu Padaya Krishna Prishta Putari Śrīmati Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shuddha-bhakti Paschatadeshatarine. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Caitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Behivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Goswami was really extraordinary personality. Although every saint, of course, is something extraordinary, but he was even amongst saints, extraordinary saint. He appeared, practically speaking, quite exactly 400 years after Lord Nityananda appeared. Yes. Lord Nityananda appeared in 1474, and Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura appeared 1874. Yes, and we know that on Friday, it was previous Friday, it was Nityananda Trayodashi, and this Friday it will be appearance day of Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura. And he appeared on the 6th of February, and this year it will be exactly 6th of February. Friday will be the 6th. Yes, so very interesting. So he was extremely special personality. his father was also extremely special personality, Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. He was a magistrate, that means he was a judge in British rule, and only 3 such people were in all of India under the British rule. 3 Indian people. One of them was Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, and he was so successful in his judgment that everyone was satisfied with his judgment. And he finished all these court cases immediately. No one would wait for months and years, as now it is the case for these court cases. They drag on and on and on without any decision, and people lose money and lose health, mental health, because of all these ongoing processes. But yes, he was very effective, and he was also not just on professional level he was successful. He was great Ācārya, and he wrote many books, and he was the first one who introduced the teachings of Lord Chaitanya to the Western countries. He sent his book about the teachings of Lord Chaitanya into some Western library in Canada, I believe, in Germany and Canada also, I believe. And actually it was on the year that Prabhupada appeared. First teaching of Lord Chaitanya went out to the West on the very year that Prabhupada appeared on this world. So it's very intimately connected. And he, of course, he was facing Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, father of Bhaktisiddhānta, great degradation of Vaishnava culture and philosophy and everything. All legacy of Lord Chaitanya actually was vanquished because of some apa-sampradayas, false teachings, who were more or less engaged in Sanskrification, and they were performing horrible activities, and no one respected them. Yes, it was considered to be very degraded to be follower of Lord Chaitanya. Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, he was trying to establish pure teaching of Lord Chaitanya, and he was writing, and he had 13 children, I believe, or 14 children, something. Now it's considered you have many children if you have 2. Or if you have more, you have extremely a lot of children. But he had 14 children. Yes, and but he was praying to get a child to be a ray of Viṣṇu, so that he could enlighten all different people and different nations in this world with teachings of Lord Chaitanya, pure teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Yes, he was hoping for, praying for. He has vision of how the United Nations of this world will sing together in unison the holy name in Mayapur. That Russians and Germans and English people will sing together along with Bengalis and other Vaishnavas from India. That they will all sing together. No one believed it. No one believed that. Yes, it was unheard of. Even in Bengal, from where Lord Chaitanya was, no one respected Vaishnavas. what to speak that the whole world would come together to glorify Lord Chaitanya. No one believed that. Yes. So he was praying for the ray of Viṣṇu. And he was a magistrate also in Jagannath Puri. Jagannath Puri, as we know, is the place of Lord Jagannath, and we have Lord Jagannath and Baladev and Subhadra here also in the altar. Yes. And it was a place, Jagannath Puri was the place where Lord Chaitanya performed his Antya Lila and Madhya Lila also, later pastimes. After he took sannyas, or renounced the order of life, he moved on his mother's plea and desire. He moved to Jagannath Puri, because Jagannath Puri was not so far from Mayapur, and so his mother believed that if he goes to Jagannath Puri, she could hear news about her son, Lord Chaitanya. So he prayed for such an enlightened son that would enlighten the whole planet with Viṣṇu's mercy, with the Lord's mercy. And so Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura appeared as Bimal Prasad. Bimala is goddess, the internal energy of the Lord actually is considered to be Śrīmati Radharani. So his mercy, Prasad means mercy, so he came as mercy of Śrīmati Radharani. Yes. And it's interesting that Prabhupada's father, of our Prabhupada, was regularly inviting different sadhus for lunch. And although Srila Prabhupada was not so impressed by many of these sadhus, because most of them were not really serious saints, most of them were degraded actually, but still the process for a householder is to invite sadhus at his house and feed them. And so Guru Mohan, father of Srila Prabhupada, was very strictly following this principle, and he was every day inviting some sadhus in the house. And usually then when sadhu comes to the house, people ask such a sadhu for different boons. And usually they ask for material boons. Let my cow be healthy and give a lot of milk. Or let me have a lot of money. Let my daughter get good husband. And such things. But Guru Mohan, father of Srila Prabhupada, didn't ask for such boons. He always prayed for only one boon. And this boon he prayed for was, let my son, Srila Prabhupada, become a pure devotee of Śrīmati Radharani. And actually this happened. His wish was fulfilled. And so Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura, he came as Bimal Prasad, as mercy of Śrīmati Radharani, and he gave this mercy to Srila Prabhupada. Yes. Because Srila Prabhupada was his disciple. So Bhaktisiddhānta, when he appeared, when he was a small child, he has a huge head, completely unproportional to his body. He was extremely intelligent personality. Even as a small child, it was obvious that he's not something ordinary. Yes, he had a huge head. Yes, even from the pictures, as a small child, we can see how big head he had. Yes. And when he was a small child, it was a Ratha Yatra in Jagannath Puri. And Ratha Yatra, this festival of chariots, on which, for those who maybe don't know very much about Ratha they put Lord Jagannath, Baladeva and Subhadra on carts, and they dragged them to the temple of Gundicha. But this cart of Lord Jagannath stopped in front of the house of Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. And Bhaktisiddhānta was just born, 3 months or something, 5 months old, little infant he was at the time. And although they tried to pull this cart as hard as possible, and by any means they tried to pull it, the cart didn't move an inch. And so the cart was staying at one and the same spot for 3 days. And then the mother of Bhaktisiddhānta took opportunity of standing cart in front of their house. And because her husband, Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, was very respected, and he was actually the temple president, as we would say, of the Jagannath temple, she was allowed to climb on the chariot with her small child, Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī. And she put him under Lord Jagannath to receive his mercy and blessings. And then suddenly the garland fell from Lord Jagannath around this child. Yes, and it was obvious that Lord Jagannath was waiting for darshan of Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura. Yes. And then cart moved again. Before that, the cart didn't move. Lord Jagannath didn't want to go further as long as he didn't receive darshan of his pure devotee. Yes. So his father, Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, was initiated disciple of Bipin Bihari Goswami. And it happened that when Bipin Bihari came to the house, Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura bowed to the ground before his guru, and his guru Bipin Bihari put his foot on the head of Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. And then Bhaktivinoda went somewhere, and Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī, who was a small child, 5 years or something, or even smaller, he said to Bipin Bihari, "Are you aware what you are doing? That you put your foot on the head of my father? Don't you know who he is? He's Nitya Siddha, he's perfect, ever eternal associate of Lord Krishna, and you dare to put your foot on his head." And then Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura came back, and the conversation was interrupted. And then Bipin Bihari Goswami Maharaj said to Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura that your boy is very outspoken to the limits that he is rude. Hare Krishna. Yes, so at that time, around that time, Bhaktisiddhānta once took a mango, and then it turned out that this mango wasn't offered to Krishna yet. And Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura became extremely angry at Bhaktisiddhānta. "You took unoffered mango and you ate it. This is an offense if we take bhoga meant for the Lord and eat it ourselves." Yes. So we should also follow this principle. Never eat bhoga. Never eat something that is not offered, because everything in this world is meant for the Lord's pleasure. Yes. We should understand this. Then we can be perfectly happy. If we use everything for the Lord's service, we can be perfectly happy. Yes, not just happy, we can be ecstatic. Yes, if we really live for the Lord's pleasure, if this is our meditation, we'll be ecstatic. So, when Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura heard this reprimand of his father, he took it very seriously. And from that day on, although he was 5 years old child or something like this, he didn't took mango all his life. Whenever, and mangoes, you know, in India they're very delicious, they're succulent. But he didn't want to take it again. Whenever he was offered mango, although it was offered to Krishna, he said, no, I'm aparadhi, I'm an offender, I cannot take. So he didn't take. And whenever his disciples were with Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī, and because he didn't take mangoes, also, no disciple also didn't take mangoes. Hare Krishna. So once they were traveling by train, and they were given 3 or 4 something mangoes, very ripe and delicious mangoes. But because Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura didn't take mangoes, and no disciple took mango because his guru didn't take, these mangoes became rotten. And then one Mayavadi sadhu came to the train, and Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura instructed that these rotten mangoes should be given to this Mayavadi sadhu. And this Mayavadi sadhu then came to Bhaktisiddhānta and vowed that he will not preach Mayavad anymore. Yes, it's very special. Yes. And he was brilliant in school. As we said, he was an extremely intelligent person. He was the student of astronomy and astrology and mathematics and everything. He was brilliant. He was better than his professors. Very soon. Yes, he defeated everyone. He was expelled from school because he defeated the principal of school in knowledge of astronomy. Yes. And in very early age, he was given the title of Sarasvatī, Siddhānta Sarasvatī, because he wrote Surya Siddhānta, the treatise on astronomy, actually the scientific study of astronomy. So he was given big title, Siddhānta Sarasvatī, because he was the best of scholars in this field. Yes. So once there was a great professor who was Indian professor of astronomy, who didn't have any faith in Shastra, and he accepted Western astronomy, and he combined a little bit of this Eastern Vedic astronomy with Western astronomy and so on. And then he was confronted by Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura. And he was completely speechless, and he was so defeated in front of everyone that he lost control over his body and he passed stool and urine at the spot there. Yes, it was extremely embarrassing. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yes, because he was completely destroyed by Bhaktisiddhānta, by his knowledge. So no one dared to face Bhaktisiddhānta. Once they challenged him to some debate, and they said that, but you shouldn't speak from Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. And he said, okay. Then they said, okay, but you shouldn't speak also from any of Puranas. And he said, okay. And then they put different conditions, and he agreed to any of them. And then they just quit the challenge. They didn't want to face, even after they set so many conditions, and Bhaktisiddhānta accepted all these conditions. They didn't dare to face him. Hare Krishna. Yes. He was extremely powerful preacher. Yes. So once then he decided to follow Chaturmasya, the 4 months of rainy season in India, where there are different fasting periods prescribed, to follow extremely strictly. So he ate just some rice and nothing else, and when he was sick of rice, he put some black pepper on it. Yeah, and he ate only from the floor with his hands back, and whatever he could eat, he ate, and when he lifted, that was it for this day. Hare Krishna. And his father then chastised him that this is too much, and he shouldn't follow this Chaturmasya in such strict way. Yes. So then he decided to to perform Shatakoti Harinam, 1 billion holy names. That he and he tried he accepted this as a vow that he will chant the holy names 1 billion times. This is a lot. And so he was chanting and chanting in Mayapur, in the bank of the Ganges, in some straw hut, and he didn't take time to repair it. So when it was raining, he sat in the hut with an open umbrella. Hare Krishna. And then one disciple of Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, when Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura left this world, he was concerned how this movement will go on, and he knew that Bhaktisiddhānta was a very powerful preacher, and a very powerful personality, that no one can defeat him. He was searching for him, and at that time he was performing this vrata, and he was asking different people in different villages and so on if they saw such and such sadhu, and he described him, and they said, we don't know about any sadhu, but one madman looks like him maybe. And he comes here and there to Ganges and screaming and rolling on the ground, and his on the top of his lungs, shouting Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And so he was searching all around to find Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura. At that time he was not yet Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura. Yes, he was still, actually he was Varshabhavani Devi Das, I believe, given name by Gaura Kishore Das Babaji. And it was interesting that Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura gave him Harinam initiation. Usually in ISKCON we take as the prime guru the one who gives us Harinam initiation. But at that time it wasn't like that. Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura gave Harinam initiation to Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura, and also he gave him a Kurma mantra and Nrisimha mantra later on. Yes, so he initiated him also in worship of the deities of Nrisimha Deva and Kurma Deva. But later on he instructed him to go and take initiation from Gaura Kishore Das Babaji. And he went to Gaura Kishore Das Babaji. We will continue our story later on when I just mentioned this. He went to Gaura Kishore Das Babaji and asked him for initiation and to give him mercy actually. And he said, please give me mercy. But Gaura Kishore Das Babaji said, I have no mercy to give you. All mercy is in the hands of Lord Chaitanya. And then Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura said, so please ask Lord Chaitanya to give me mercy through you. And he said, okay, I will ask him. And then after some time Bhaktisiddhānta came back to Gaura Kishore Das Babaji and asked him, have you asked Lord Chaitanya? And he said, I forgot. And then Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura said, you are worshipping this cheetah, Lord Krishna, and so you also try to cheat me. But my life is useless if I don't receive your mercy. It's better for me to die. Yes, he was very serious. This was not a joke. And so Gaura Kishore Das Babaji, who could see through and through a person, yes, he understood that he's very serious. And so he gave him initiation. So that we go back to this story when this disciple of Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura was searching for Bhaktisiddhānta, and suddenly he saw a man running from jungle to the river Ganges, and plunged into it, shouting Hari Bol, Hari Bol, in complete ecstasy and oblivion. And then he said, he approached him and said to him that you should go now out and preach. And Bhaktisiddhānta replied, can't you see? The whole Panchatattva is chanting here and dancing. What kind of preaching you are saying? Panchatattva is here. Can't you see? Hare Krishna. So he was completely in spiritual world. He was not in this world. And so this disciple of Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura gave up hope that Bhaktisiddhānta would ever came and preach. But few years later, Bhaktisiddhānta suddenly appeared at the door of this person in Calcutta and he was freshly shaved and in sannyasi robes with danda in his hand, his sannyasi staff. And he said that he's ready to establish Gauḍīya Math mission. Hare Krishna. So, yes, when Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura disappeared from this world, this was in June, I believe, 1914. Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī was very depressed, and he didn't know how he can continue service that Bhaktivinoda started. And he was wondering what to do. And then all of the Ācāryas and 6 Goswamis and Panchatattva, including Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, they came to him, to Bhaktisiddhānta, and said to him, "Don't worry, we will carry it out. You just be our instrument in our hands." Yes, so no one will be able to defeat you. Yes, no one will be able to stop you. And they really tried to stop him. They tried a few times to kill him. Once chief of police came to Bhaktisiddhānta in Vrindavan and said to him, "Be careful. Certain people approached me," he was head of police, approached me and wanted to give me big amount of money to kill you. But because my principle is not to kill sadhus, I didn't accept their offer. That means that he accepted this offer for different people, but not for sadhus. So he came to warn Bhaktisiddhānta that there are certain people who tried to kill him. Yes, and yes, in many occasions they tried to kill him, but they couldn't. They couldn't. Yes, so he started a worldwide mission. Actually, he traveled all over India and spreading these teachings of Lord Chaitanya in India. And he also sent some of his disciples to the West to preach to Westerners, and they went to London and so on. And he initiated 10 Westerners, Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura. Yes. His disciples in the beginning were not so successful in preaching in the West. There was one lord, English lord, interested in philosophy, and he said to, I forgot who was that. Anyone knows?
Jetland. Lord Jetland.
Yeah, but who was the disciple of Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura? Maybe he was Bon Maharaj. Yes, I was also thinking of him, but I'm not sure. You sure?
I'm not sure. Hridaya Bon Swami. Hridaya Bon.
Hridaya Bon Swami. Yes, this Bon Maharaj. I don't know if it was him. You're sure?
I'm quite sure, yes.
Yes. So let's take that he was Bon Maharaj. So this English lord asked Bon Maharaj, "Can you make me a Brahmana?" Because he was reading about Brahmanas and he was impressed by the position of Brahmanas according to Shastra. And Bon Maharaj said, "Yes, no problem. I can make you a Brahmana, but you should follow certain rules. No meat, fish or eggs, no illicit sex, no intoxication, yes, no gambling. And this Lord said, impossible. It's impossible. Yes. You want to take my life. Yes. And if you preach like this to people, no illicit sex, no intoxication, they would ask you, why do you live then? Yes, this is all I live for. Yes. Hare Krishna. So that was actually the miracle of Śrīla Prabhupada. He came to people who had for their mission in life sex and drugs and rock and roll. Yes, have you heard about this? Sex and drugs and rock and roll. There is even one famous song, Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll. Yes. But he says, no sex, no drugs, no rock and roll. And they followed him. This is most surprising. And they had a saying, don't trust anyone above 30. Yes. But he was over 70, and they trusted him. Yes. So when Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura started this worldwide mission, he met for the first time Śrīla Prabhupada. This was, I believe, in 1921 in Kolkata. And Prabhupada was invited by one of his friends to go to see one special sadhu. And because as we mentioned, that Prabhupada didn't highly estimated these sadhus, he didn't want to go. Because, as we said, his father was inviting different sadhus, but very rarely any of these sadhus turned out to be really a sadhu. He was more or less addicted to sense gratification and just playing the role of a sadhu for making a living. That was the situation. My Guru Maharaj, before he met Śrīla Prabhupada, was wandering all over India, from one place to another, from one holy place to another. And he met one sadhu who was giving blessings to thousands of people who were standing in queues, waiting for his blessing. And when he saw my Guru Maharaj at that time, he was a very young boy. He was, I don't know, 19 years old or something. He asked him, where do you come from? And they were speaking in English, and these crowds of people, they were very simple, rural people who didn't speak English. So he spoke very frankly, this so-called sadhu. And my Guru Maharaj said, I'm coming from America, from the USA, from the United States. And he said, what do you do here? And my Guru Maharaj said, I'm searching for absolute truth, I'm searching for God. And then he became extremely angry, this person. He said, what God? There is no God. You were wasting life. You had perfect life in America, but you left it all just to search for some illusion of God. I want to have these facilities that you left. I would like to go to America, enjoy women and money and everything like this. But at the same time, as he was explaining like this, he was still giving blessings to people. Hare Krishna, just to receive some donation from them. Hare Krishna. So that was his job actually. He went to work every day. Hare Krishna. Yes, so there were many of such sadhus, and Prabhupada knew that many of the sadhus are like that. And so he was reluctant to go to see another sadhu. But then his friends said that this particular sadhu is not like any other sadhu actually. It's very special. So you should go and see him. And Prabhupada, later on, he explained that somehow or other I was convinced by my friend. He succeeded to convince me to go. He was not convinced about the sadhu, but he was somehow or other convinced by this friend to accompany him because of his love for his friend. So they came to this sadhu, and because it's proper to offer obeisance in front of a sadhu, he offered obeisance to Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura. And before he got up, Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura said to him, "You're an intelligent young man. Why don't you spread this mission of Lord Chaitanya in English language all over the world?" And he was taken aback, because at that time Śrīla Prabhupada was not in mood of preaching Krishna consciousness. He was in the mood of this liberation movement from under the British rule, that India would get free from the British rule. And he said, first we have to get free from British rule. If we don't get free from British rule, no one would listen to us. Who would listen to subjugated nation? Anything. So we must get free first, and then we can influence the world. And Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura said, no way. These political rules and rulers and different political situation is just changing all the time. It's something material, but the mission of Lord Chaitanya is spiritual. We don't bother about political rule, who is in political power. We should follow the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, which is beyond all different material designations, yes, and all political considerations. And he was defeated by his Guru Maharaj, and he was very proud to be defeated by his Guru Maharaj. He explained many times, I was defeated. Yes. And so he was sent to the Western countries and to preach in English language in his first meeting with Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura. And later on, Śrīla Prabhupada was a very powerful preacher, and they opened one center in Chennai, I believe, or somewhere, and they didn't have any proper person to be a temple president, because there was some sannyasis who were traveling and preaching, and so they couldn't stay in one place and be temple president there. And then they suggested to Bhaktisiddhānta that Abhay Baba, this is our Śrīla Prabhupada, is very powerful preacher and can be offered this place of temple president. And he replied to them that let him do what he's doing now. In due course of time, he will do everything. Hare Krishna. Yes, he was convinced about Śrīla Prabhupada that he will do everything. And he said that about Śrīla Prabhupada, that I can see that he's eager to hear. He's eager to hear. Therefore, he can speak. Those who hear can speak. Yes. And Prabhupada mentioned many times how important it is to hear properly from the authority. And then to just repeat what you have heard from authority. So, and my qualification, he said for himself, Śrīla Prabhupada, is that I didn't add anything or subtract anything. I'm just giving you as I have received. Yes. So this is very important, that these teachings is coming in parampara, unbroken. So yes, Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī also built many temples, different temples. There was one big temple, I believe in Mahaprabhu, and then his disciples started to fight which room will occupy who will occupy a certain room. And Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura was so frustrated by this that he said that I would rather sell all these facilities, all these temples, and just print books with the money. Yes. He was very revolutionary in many ways. He used cars for preaching, which was unheard of, that sadhu would drive with a car. Yes. He sent disciples to England, and it was against the principles that sadhus would cross the ocean. And Prabhupada was also crossing the ocean, yes, to get to America. Yes. So he was revolutionary, and he was predicted in Padma Purana, I believe, that in Jagannath Puri that will appear some special sadhu, very unconventional, who will spread this mission of Krishna consciousness all over the world. And actually, all of us here are product of his mercy, of Bimal Prasad, of the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Yes. And Srila Prabhupada also stressed many times. He actually cried, and he said, all of you, my disciples, you just were sent by my Guru Maharaj to help me, because I am helpless. But my Guru Maharaj is helping me and sending me help in you. Hare Krishna. So I believe we should stop here. Is there any question or comment? Yes, please.
Just a little comment. I don't know if you know about it, but Bhakti Bhavan was the home of Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura in North Calcutta.
Yes.
And the Bhakti Bhavan is the place where Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī started his astronomy institute. And I think it should happen next. Radhanath Swami has, with the help of the ISKCON Kolkata, they purchased the Bhakti Bhavan. So now we are preparing the inside the building, all the like a museum, the presentation of Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's life and what Bhaktisiddhānta did there. And there is a deadline for next week. So, I mean, the auspicious is that this will be a place in Kolkata for devotees to visit the place in North Calcutta where Bhaktisiddhānta was there for many years.
Yes. This is special place.
Yeah.
When they were digging for foundation for Bhakti Bhavan, they found Kurmadev,
Yes.
the deity of Kurmadev, and then Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura gave initiation in Kurma mantra to Bhaktisiddhānta when they found this. Yes, thank you for this information. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Isn't it also, like, I don't know, 2 years ago, ISKCON now is owning and reconstructing the place of meeting of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Sarasvatī Ṭhākura?
Yeah,
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. This is not a place of meeting, it's the first temple, or what is this Uttaranga? Is it?
The first visit.
Is
Yes.
it? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
On the roof.
Renovated and in an old style, like it's all renovated, very beautiful, but it reminds us of how it would look on those old days,
Yeah.
like with those kind of stones, that kind of paintings and everything.
Wow.
Yes. Very special things. So, by Radharani's mercy, we can have also these places preserved for all of us and devotees who will come in the future to see these places as they were at that time and get spiritual inspiration and help to surrender deeply. So we should also follow this mission given by Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura to all of us, actually, because we are all coming in line of Bhaktisiddhānta, we are all coming in line of Śrīla Prabhupāda, and their only mission in life was to spread this Krishna consciousness. Yes, not to be considered great preachers, that they would go in history of mankind, but just to give us Bimal Prasad, just to give us mercy of Srimati Radharani. Yes, so we should accept this and be extremely grateful. By this mercy, we can go in the most intimate place of Lord Krishna's pastimes. Yes, most intimate pastimes by his mercy. Before he left this world, he spoke that all we should get is the mercy of Rupa and Raghunath. And this means, of course, to go most deep in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, most deep in the most intimate environment of spiritual world. So we can achieve this by strong sadhana, by regular chanting of the holy name, with deep concentration and longing. Actually, we should develop longing in our chanting and connect with the Lord. And then we will carry on the legacy we have received. Otherwise, it will be just a curiosity matter to hear about Krishna or Bhaktisiddhānta or different saints. Yes, so we should imbibe their spirit and continue this mission. Hare Krishna. Yes.
I have one more question. Actually, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura was known as a Simha Guru, as a lion guru.
Yes, lion guru.
But at the same time, he was extremely loving and compassionate and kind. Can you mention some example?
Yes, he was extremely compassionate. Once he was crying, actually, if someone would leave the movement. Yes, he said after so many lifetimes he came and he left. He was really moved. Once there was a disciple who was always in some conflict with other devotees. And they were preparing some new temple and they wanted to present it to Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura as beautifully as possible. And they really succeeded, they really made perfect. But one devotee left. And no one knew where he left. But they didn't so much bothered because they were burdened by this service and they were under pressure. So they managed to prepare everything perfectly when Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura came to see the opening of this temple, I believe. And then Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura came, and he didn't say anything about the wonderful arrangements and so on. But first thing he asked, where is this devotee? And they couldn't tell anything because they didn't know. And they said that he gone somewhere, but they don't know where. And he said, all these facilities doesn't mean anything to me. Please go and find this devotee and bring him to me. And they were searching and searching and they couldn't find. And then one of the devotees remembered that this guy was very good in repairing watches. And so they starting to go to different these watch repairing shops. And they really found him in one of them. And they said to him, our Śrīla Prabhupada wants to see you, because they also referred to Bhaktisiddhānta as Śrīla Prabhupada. Śrīla Prabhupada wants to see you. And he was so impressed, so moved by this, that his Guru Maharaj remembered him, that he came back to Śrīla Prabhupada, to Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura, and surrendered his life to him. Hare Krishna. So yes, he was extremely compassionate. He gave his life for every living entity. Yes, this was his mission, to save lives. This powerful preacher, Simha Guru, the lion guru, he was not to defeat others, although he was defeating others. But this was not his purpose, to defeat others. His purpose was to save others. Yes, to save others. Because he was defeating illusion, actually. He was not defeating people. He was defeating illusion. Yes. And in hypocrisy. He was defeating hypocrisy. Yes, because hypocrisy is one of the most dangerous thing in spiritual life. Yes. If we speak something and live differently, this is most dangerous, because people will lose faith. Yes, people will lose faith. So yes, it's so important to be honest in spiritual life and to be pure. Yes. Prabhupada also in today's quote, he says that cleanliness is next to godliness. So we should be pure outside and inside. Yes. Should clean our heart and offer it to Krishna. Because and he says, can you read again, that I can't remember completely?
The more you cleanse the temple, the more you decorate the deity, the more your heart becomes cleansed and you become spiritually decorated. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Material world means dirty things and spiritual world means clean.
Yes, exactly. So we should also clean our heart and offer it, then when it is clean, offer it to Krishna. Offer it to Krishna even now. and ask Krishna for help to clean it. Yes, because it's impossible to clean it ourselves. But we should be willing to clean it. This is the qualification. Hare Krishna. So, thank you very much for your attention. Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai, Gaura-bhakta-vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
So we will invite them to Pushpanjali for Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura. Shamno Prabhu, can you read the message?
Kalpatarupishcha Karpasindhāya Patitanam Pavani Viṣṇu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.